Or an apron, daddy wore a flash. Taught me when to smile and when to whoop some ass. I learned early not to judge a man too fast, but if he lies once, he don't get a second pass. My boots been muddy since the second grade. Earn my stripes and feed lights and baling hay. Don't care for trophies, don't chase no brass. I'd rather earn my keep than kiss someone's ass. Ain't never cared for flash or fame. My handshake's worth more than a rich man's name. I've had broke down trucks and a tank of gas, but I never once begged or played it half-assed. I know folks with riches and folks with less. The ones who show up, those are the best. We break our backs just to make it last, and pray the Lord helps us haul the past. I ain't raised to talk out my ass. I ain't raised to chase what don't last. I ain't raised to run from the clash. I'm 10 toes down when the line gets trashed. I ain't raised to wear no mask. I ain't raised to move too fast. I ain't raised to skip no class. I'm old school real, not built for sass. I got kin who drank from rusted jars and scars that shine brighter than fancy cars. I've said it in silence with the weight of truth, and I've seen grown men crying cowboy blues. You might see me quiet in a corner seat, but I'll rise up if you mess with my family tree. Cause the ones I ride with don't need to ask. They know damn well I'll cover their ass. See, around here, you ain't judged by your phone or your cash. You judged by your word and the dust on your dash. We don't flex, we don't fake, we don't flash. We show up, speak plain, and cut through the trash. I ain't raised to kiss no ass. I ain't raised to chase what won't last. I ain't raised to beg for a pass. I ain't raised to fold or come in last. I ain't raised to skip no task. I work till it hurts, then I laugh. I ain't raised for nothing half-assed. I'm born for the fire, built to outlast. So if you're like me, then raise your glass for every country soul that walks with class. We ain't got time to dwell on the past. We're still standing strong while the weak ones crash. Cause we ain't raised that way, and we never will be.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. Yeah.
Turn on your mind now, tune into the feed. We're planting digital flowers from a single tiny seed. Yeah, power to the collective in the data and the soul. The hive mind's getting louder, finding voice and control.
And here we go.
Welcome to the freak show, the best in town.
What is going on, Hive? I hope everybody's having a fantastic Monday. Man, that weekend went way too fast. Packers got a W, though, so I'm stoked about that. Brace yourself for this evening. We have Devil's Advocates backstage in the Hive, and I'm very excited for this stream as we are going to have a topic that is surrounding the Idaho 4. Specifically, what we're going to do and what we chatted about earlier today is we're going to go back through a ton of Hive Mind finds that have been sitting in the Discord or that we've talked about on the stream in the past. We're going to revisit them. Okay, so I went back and I found a bunch of Hive Mind finds, some that have been on stream, a couple that haven't. I'm very excited to look into that. That way, we're going to be able to, as I said, knowing what we know now, look at these and say, does that change it? Okay, I tried to pick some from a few months ago specifically. And the nice thing about this too is this will allow DA and I to continue to keep our, same style or same flow, just going off the cuff while having submissions from you all here in the chat in the Hive. So I'm going to start doing this again more regularly. Felt like with all the document drops and all the new stuff becoming unsealed that we kind of touched on most of that. It would be a good stream to do so with DA backstage. So nonetheless, I'm going to go ahead. I want to say what's up to everybody. If you have not hit that like button, take 5 seconds right now, swipe down on the chat, and leave some Trace DNA on the like button. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do want to be a part of this chat. Subscribing is free. All of my streams are free. I just have recently been switching it to subscriber-only chat. I feel like it allows, I don't know, maybe it makes it a little bit easier on the mods, and then there's no, spamming. We've had some streams where people have come in and just been spamming with links as of late. What's up, UFO Dog and Discord Dawn? Shout out to 2 of my mods. Where's Luna? See Beck, another one of my mods. Got a little bit of a frog in my throat. I was stuffing my face with tacos before this, so I was telling Diego, do you know how impressive it is to eat 3 white people tacos in 2 minutes? What up, Steph? How are you doing? Cats Mojo, Criddle, Julie, Elizabeth, Scout, UFO Dog. I already said what's up to you. I'll say what's up again, though. K Wolf, Bianca Jane, Amanda B, Luna, UK Kaylee, how are you doing? Marsha Mayhew, Carolina, Cookies Corner 420, good to see you. Gamble, Becky, Nana Cal, Crime Spy, Sleuth or Dare. More Ashley's present. Nash TN guy says, is Brian guilty? I think that'll be the first question that we ask Devil's Advocates when he gets up here. We got Carrie, Poppy Man. Pappy Man says, Birdie, I need to tell you something. On Tommy's live last night, you touched my soul, brother. Lost my dad 2 years ago. I made sure to be here to tell you. Thank you for your words. Much love. Well, thank you for saying that. And if you guys aren't aware of this, I don't want to, dampen the mood by any means, but I do think it's important to say, as a lot of people in here are familiar with Tommy Jude, I believe that last night was going to be his last stream for the foreseeable future until something changes, which is unfortunate, as he's had some health complications come up. And he had a bunch of people up onto his stream. I unexpectedly, had seen that he was live, and I popped up there, and it was really cool to see everybody kind of come together for Tommy. As you guys know, he's got a huge heart. He's been a great help to me, and so Pappy, thank you for passing that along. And that was it was a touching stream for sure. Tracy, thank you for hitting the like button. Bianca, whoa, Brooke, true to it. Kathy NC1, Haley Muckenfuss, love that name. Dina, Lisa, LA Mike Life, already smashed it. Let's go. Great job last night, LA Mike and Daddy Jones again. I did get the quick cut up about an hour before this live. Usually I do it a little bit earlier, but I was swamped today. What's up, gang, Crowned? Donna Speaks Truth, like. Not Lamey Jamie says, just another manic Monday. Sue, how are you doing? River Bear Teacup. And UFO Dog says, LA Mike has better hair than me. Well, LA Mike is a handsome gentleman. Yes, he is. And he did great last night, like I said. And to everybody that did apply to be on the round table, thank you so much. I do that the last Sunday of every month. So the next one will be around Thanksgiving. That is going to be a mods roundtable. So you guys are going to get to meet the mods. It's going to be a lot of fun. And with that, Hive, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to bring up the Twin Peaks Rizzler, the Cock Swagger, the Tig Old Biddies. I don't even know what other nicknames the Hive is giving them, but nonetheless, here's DA. What's up, brother?
Dude, you cannot start that way. I'm trying to not start your stream off with us getting the adult flags already. Like
Oh, no,
you start
no.
you start out the stream with a song full of ass and talk about your face full of taco before doing your live. And I can't. I'm a 15-year-old boy at heart. You can't start me out that way.
I guess I got to keep that in mind. I didn't even think about that.
You cannot start that way. Need to do over. Start the stream over.
Yeah. You think I would play chess and have that planned out before the stream, knowing that I'll just sprinkle in eating tacos before this on purpose?
And then you throw in Tiggle bitties and all this. I'm off the rails, man. People are going to be like, that dude needs to get out more often or something. I don't know. Anyways, the point being is, thank you so much for having me again. I wanted to say, by the way, you like to go through and say personal greetings to people. And I saw so many people tonight saying hi to me personally. So I can't even remember all the names. They flew by so fast, but I'm feeling very blessed tonight to see just how many of your people recognize me and look forward to us being together. So thank you so much for everyone that took the time. I wish I could call you out all by name. I tried to do my best typing it, but thank you so much.
Yeah, it's awesome. The Hive is awesome. I know your chat you refer to as the Den. They're awesome. Everybody in here that's been, supportive of the channels. And just something that got said on Tommy's live last night, I believe it was by Dago. And he said, it's really interesting to see how, finally, it seems as the creators are coming together in this case. You know what I mean? Now, I wasn't on YouTube beforehand, but I can tell you, I've certainly always felt that way since we've been over here. Couple riffs, couple tiffs with, some stuff, but nothing crazy. If anything, I think it's there's that intensity around, guys, we want to know what the hell happened. That's really what it comes down to. We want to know what happened.
Yeah.
Why did it happen? Why are you saying this?
Yeah.
I was joking about saying, and I got a little echo too, by the way, DA. So you know.
Do you? Because I got a hollow room in the studio and it feels echoey to me. Is that, are you getting it from me?
I'm not sure, but if nobody in the chat's bothered by it, no worries.
What?
I was just
You're
going to
the
say,
second person to say that. I got to figure this shit out.
Let me try to click this setting on your mic. I think this could do it. Okay.
I wonder what I got a new studio. So, by the way, the new studio kind of looks kind of cool back here, but
it does look cool. I like it.
But it's got a hollow sound when I record, and you're the second person to say they heard an echo. And I think it might be because of that hollow sound, but maybe you're getting an echo through something else. And maybe I got a setting tweaked somewhere.
I honestly think that if your earbuds are turned up high, I think I'm just hearing the earbuds in your ears. Yeah.
Okay. I can kill that down.
Yeah. But all right.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you this. So I know I was joking around when I said I put that comment on the screen saying it's going to be the first question that I ask you, is Brian guilty? Okay. Let's take it a step further. Whether he's guilty or not, one of the things we've discussed is if you're guilty and the investigation infringes on a right, there's an overstep, there's an overreach, there's a mistake, where are we at morally for that? Is it right to let a guilty man go free, to not set a precedent that will affect countless? Or is it, well, yeah, we messed up, we broke the law, doesn't matter, we found you guilty? Where are you at on that?
Well, I'm not sure if I understand your question correctly, but I would say that I never, even if you're guilty, if you had to break the law to get you convicted, then I would rather that guilty person walk and you learn how to do better policing and better job on prosecution, because I never want to see an innocent person go to jail for something they didn't do. And if you get away with breaking the law to put people away, then I would rather see some guilty people walk than one innocent person go to prison. So.
Yeah. And Hive, I just also too, I turned my mic up. I turned it down last night with the roundtable. Is that much better? Let me just make sure. I hope that it is, because whenever I do the roundtable, DA, if people don't have microphones, and it's just coming through their computer audio, I have to go and manually adjust all of them. So usually mine comes through louder. So anyways, if it's all good on your guys' end, apologies. I didn't want to kill the flow there, DA. So could you repeat the last part of that again?
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm a firm believer in the belief that we'd rather have a few guilty people walk for things that they did than for one innocent person to go to jail for something that they didn't do. So at the bottom line is if even if Brian Kohberger is guilty of the crimes that he pled guilty to, if they had to do something illegal to get a forced confession from him, then he should walk. I hate to say it because it's not great for the victims, but if they had to play dirty pool to get a confession and get a conviction, I don't think that's right. But I agree. I said it differently than the first time I said, but
no, and I had kind of remembered that was your perspective. I share a very similar perspective of that. I think the reason why is really not about the people involved as much as you got to hold the law enforcement and the courts accountable, right? That's really what it comes down to is you guys should know that they could walk. And it seems like there are mistakes that are made depending on the severity of it where they don't need to affect it. It's not like every little technicality, right? But, like Miranda rights. You got to read that. Otherwise, you're done. They never read. Like, that's the simplest mistake. And people walk because of that.
Right. So,
planting DNA, lying about chain of custody, to me, is where then I absolutely share the same perspective as you do with it.
Yeah.
Now, real quick, before we get into these hive mind finds, I got a lot of them, DA, so we're going to kind of cruise through this. If you guys have not hit that like button or the subscribe button, please do. I keep all my streams free. I got all of my websites and other links right there. So birdieBombshell.com, on TikTok, Discord, Substack, Facebook, Instagram. And I also have on birdieBombshell.com, MSNPC t-shirts. Dana, if you are in the hive, I need to get you that Google Drive. I saw your text today, so I will do that. For some reason, dude, whenever I send her the files for that stuff, they don't open. So I apologize, Dana. I got them all done. I just need to upload them. And DA, you want to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, so my main website. Well, first of all, I'm of course at Devil's Advocates 2024 on YouTube, and then my main website is devilsadvocates.info, and I've also got X. X isn't really going, but so I've got Twitter. Sorry, that is X. I got Facebook. I've got Substack. I've got a lot of places that are kind of like hanging on by a thin thread. TikTok. I'm trying to get onto other platforms as well, but YouTube's my mainstay. That's where most of my stuff's at, and my website, which never really took off. By the way, I spent a lot of time building timelines, in my cases, so that people could follow the timelines with links to where I got the facts, and here's where somebody was at exactly this minute, and like people don't go there. So now I've got this. I stopped doing it because I'm just like, well, that's a lot of work to keep those timelines built. I always thought it was going to be a cool thing, but anyways, yeah, that's my shtick. To Devil's Advocates 2024 on YouTube is my primary channel, and then my website devilsadvocates.info.
Yeah, love it. If you guys wouldn't mind, in addition to hitting that like button, don't be afraid to share this stream right now to your maybe your normie significant other, normie friends, some people that need to be red pilled. I was on the phone today, DA, with the custody queens off the clock. They're going to be on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. They're custody attorneys in their day job. They have about 30 attorneys, I think they said, that work underneath them. Wow. And they're super sharp and they're super fun. Yeah. Super fun. So I'm very excited to have them into the hive on Wednesday. Like I said, we're going to be diving into, obviously, the Idaho 4 case. The question that so many people have asked, DA, is why would Brian plea? And is it possible that there's things going on behind closed doors and in the quarters with the judge where the attorneys go in there? What happens back there? What does that look like?
Yeah.
And the fact that that's one of the first things that they told me, they said, a lot of people think that it's, this, and that. It's really the judge saying to them, and I'll save it for what they're going to, kind of talk about, but it's going to give a really good perspective, because even for myself, I'm like, damn, I didn't know that. Not many people would know that unless you're an attorney, right?
Yeah. 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 It's funny you mention it, because it's so sad. I keep having these really cool guests on my show, and like nobody watches them. But I just had a discussion with Clint Harper. He runs a YouTube channel that is trying to get going called Wrong Place, Wrong Crime. And we were talking about a case called the Yogurt Shop Murders back in the 90s. Yeah. So, and there was 4 girls that were murdered and sexually assaulted and murdered in the back of a TCBY or ICBY. And it was funny because there was two false confessions in that case. 2 guys said that they did the crimes and they did not do them. 30 years later, they find the real criminal who really did it, or at least one of the real criminals who really did it. the DNA proves that these guys didn't do it and had to let them go. And the same question gets asked, like, well, why the hell would they plead guilty if they didn't do it? It happens all the time. People don't realize it's ridiculous. People really are just mentally blocked with this idea that guilty or innocent people do not plead guilty. Two people in that case pled guilty to something they did not do and could not have done. But they you know, there was law enforcement tactics that were used. In that case, they were not particularly maybe the sharpest guys in the world, but because sometimes that factors in. But false confessions can be obtained a lot of different ways, and people do plead guilty to things that they didn't do. So I just wish people would pay attention more. But that's a real thing.
Yeah, well said. I mean, I always think of the Making a Murderer.
Yeah,
false confession, or I guess with Brennan. And that's just tough to watch.
That kid. I mean, I've had people tell me, "Oh yeah, for sure that those two guys did it, so don't feel sorry for them." But watching that documentary, that kid got railroaded, and you can see the interrogation yourself, and you're like, "That's disgusting. What happened?"
It is, and that's what I'm saying. It's just you can't tell me that you believe the guy. You can't tell me you're like. At least in the way that he's saying it, it seems all over the place. He's changing his story. Yeah. So whatever. Anyways, all right, Dia, you ready to get into some of these Hive Mind finds, man? I'm excited for these.
Let's do it.
Let me pull up this layout so that we can see the background better. All right. So, let's go with this one. All right, DA. The first Hive Mind find is one that you may or may not have seen. And you all right? DA's down.
Oh shit. I just unblocked and coughed.
That's funny. All right. So this first one, okay. This goes back to so Mama Tata had submitted this, and this was about when Brian is signing his plea, okay, versus his signature on the complaints. Is this, like, my question is this nothing? Like, these look very different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go from whatever this is to that. And again, these are legal documents. I'm not saying that all of my signatures look the same, but I don't know. I find it odd. And then also, too, is it normal to be recording somebody in prison all day, every day like that?
No, well, okay. So two different questions. Let me say this. And so this isn't always the best, right? Because I will say this: if I'm signing a large number of documents, my signature gets shittier throughout the course of that number. That I get lazier, right? The first one you're signing really well, and you're like, okay, here's 27th copy you got to sign, and so you just start, fuck it, you just start signing faster and faster, right? So I have to be careful when I say, does this signature look like this signature? Because I myself have signatures that don't look recognizable to each other if I'm getting lazy and I've signed 37 papers and I'm just getting like tired of signing papers. And in an illegal case like this, that's exactly going to happen, right? You're going to be stuck with the stuff. They're going to want you to sign a whole bunch of shit. So it's like buying a house. If you ever bought a house, you sign your name so often, you're just like, screw it. I'm just going to put a squiggle at this point because I'm tired of signing paperwork. So I don't know. I think there's some similarity there. But as far as the recording all day long, like I was not aware. It's funny because I never really thought about it, but I was not aware that they would record somebody 24/7 in their cell. But it's funny because under normal circumstances, you couldn't do that because you have a right to privacy. Look right there. You've got his toilet right there. Under normal circumstances, you can't watch somebody take a leak because there's an expectation of privacy in your bathroom, right? And it is against the law to record somebody in a place where they have an expectation of privacy. But one can argue if you're in prison, you have no expectation of privacy. Everything you do is under a microscope. So they literally can get away with things. So I think legally, obviously they could, because there's no expectation of privacy once you have your rights removed like that. But I was kind of a little surprised to think that they just roll a camera inside the cell the whole time. But
could you imagine, like, if you're like a nervous peer and just thinking you're on camera all the time? That's like cruel and unusual punishment then. Like,
right.
You're watching you can't even just really take a piss. But
and who wants to be seen on the
crazy.
porcelain throne? I mean, you got to go sit on the porcelain throne and everybody watching you. You're like, what do? You give them your dump face? Like, I don't know what that looks like.
I don't want to know what that looks like. So,
yeah. Oh yeah. I'll impersonate if you'd like, but no.
Okay. No, that's okay. I'll take your word for it. That it's quite a sight. I can imagine. All right. Now I got to focus up. Get that image out of my mind.
That's beautiful.
All right. This one comes from Julia. Now this, Julia came across this on Translucent's page. It was the North Carolina police report with names. So I don't know if you remember hearing about that dude who had hitchhiked across the country right after the murders happened, and he got out all the way out to North Carolina. And he went to the sheriff's department and he made a complaint. He's like, I had to get out of there. They were going to blame that on me. Have you heard this?
Oh no, I did not hear that story. That's crazy. I thought I'd heard everything with this case.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do this. So I'll read the police report at the bottom here. This was on December 22nd of 2022 at 1:45. Randolph County Sheriff's Office. This is an interview on November 22nd, 2022 at 1:30 p.m. Richard Anthony Colameco entered the Randolph County Courthouse wearing blue jeans and a gray sweatshirt, carrying a black backpack and a sleeping bag. Mr. C requested to speak with a deputy to make a tip regarding a homicide. Deputy Walton, advised him that he could report the tip directly to the sheriff's office by contacting Crime Stoppers or communications. Mr. C stated he did not have a phone and was walking because he just, quote, hitched rides down here this week from Idaho. I asked Mr. C where the crime occurred, and he stated, quote, Moscow, Idaho, where all those kids were killed, end quote. I offered to call the Moscow Police Department and report the tip for him. And then I've never seen the second half of this report. So, kind of weird.
Yeah, kind of.
What was
kind
the
of
tip?
Weird.
I don't know if we ever found anything out about this, like what Luna said.
Here's the thing. Like, I think in any given case, when they open up the tip lines and say, we want any and all tips from the community, crazy shit happens. People start coming in with, they want to be the one to broke the case, especially if there's money on the line or a reward or whatever. And so it's a double-edged sword for them to say, hey, we want tips from the community, because everybody and their dog, and even mentally unstable people who just want attention, who want to feel like they're important, people will falsely admit, hey, I was the killer, just so they could try to get their fame involved in the whole thing. So it's, who knows? I'd have to know that guy's story a little bit more, but see, I was trying to avoid just the tip comment, and somebody else didn't know.
Oh, I didn't even notice it. So
oh yeah, see, I let that shit go. But you got a bunch of immature fucking people in your audience. Is what's going on?
Got a bunch of children in here.
Freaking grow up.
Yeah,
grow up.
Right. Yeah,
a bunch of children in here.
I mean, dude, but if you think about it, man, I mean, so 2,500 miles in under 42 hours, you're moving pretty good for hitchhiking and shit. So
you did like a Forrest Gump thing. I just run, Forrest.
Jesus Christ. I love the meme of Forrest Gump when he's on the shrimp boat and he's like waving, Have you ever seen that? For golf, people are like, when you see the cart girl after not seeing her for like 12 holes, and it's like all the guys standing like, hey, we're over here. I don't know why. That's funny. But no, I thought this was interesting. And also, I mean, I'd be curious, is there any way? So does this guy see? I don't think they have all of his stuff like redacted on here. What would be interesting?
Everything's redacted, because we can't have any transparency in this freaking county. But
Sherlock said no reward for Idaho 4. He dropped 3 names: Kevin, Alan, and Aaron. He said perps drive Enduro sport bikes to get to and from the crime scene. They park bike and got a way to escape. That's what he said. I remember that now. I remember that because then we went and we looked up these Enduro, like the university has like a dirt bike team, or they have like a club or something that rides kind of right back in that area in the mountains, really close to campus. Do you know what like an Enduro bike is?
No. But like I rode an e-bike.
Motocross. It's like an e-bike on steroids, except it's got gas and it's fast and it's
okay. But not a motorcycle, right? Let me guess. They bridged the gap where it's not a motorcycle, so you don't have to get a motorcycle endorsement, but it's also not just a bike. gas
Yeah.
powered.
Maybe that's what they do. But for you, I saw you on the e-bike. This thing would be a death trap for you. So I like you a lot. I would highly encourage you to not try that. Next thing you know, DA is going to have a GoPro on and he's going to be
Those things.
Hey.
Those things haul ass. Those e-bikes haul ass. It is so much easier to ride with an e-bike.
Dude,
think about getting one.
Not to just completely sidetrack for stories now, because I want to go through these, but I went to a bachelor party down in Austin, Texas. Okay. Now at this time, this was, 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago. There's a serial killer that was not being talked about at all. Dude, and it's like dudes, like guys who go home alone. And I got tacos and I wasn't by myself. I was with this dude named Rory, but long story short, we didn't even know. We were pretty intoxicated off of Rainy Street, and we got into this Uber and we trusted it completely. And I'm like, at that time, we had no idea. But the story about like the e-bikes, how this comes into play, one of my buddies was out of his mind, just hammered. So I'm not saying that this is smart to do. Do you know those bird scooters? They're like e-scooters that you see in the cities.
Yeah.
Dude, so we had like a 20-minute Uber ride back to our place. He took a bird scooter the entire way. We wake up in the morning, dude. He's like covered in mud and like grass stains and cuts. And he's like, if I had to guess, he's like, I was probably doing like almost 30 miles an hour down this hill. And he went into the ditch. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, you're lucky. Like you didn't hit your head on a mailbox or something. And it lost his phone. Right. So you'd think that was night one, which here's what I've said about like getting older and going to bachelor parties. There's a joke out there about this. It's like now nobody can ever match the energy of night one of a bachelor or a bachelorette party. You end up just like shooting yourself in the foot for the entire trip because everybody's the energy's way up here. So hyped. You overserve yourself, right?
Wait a minute. I digress. I'm missing out on life. Bachelor parties that go past night one, like just like a multi. What is this? Multi-day bachelor party? What is this? Bachelor month?
This was like a destination one, so we were there for. This was fun. We were there for I think a long weekend, and so you'd think night one, this dude would learn from that.
Yeah, no,
he's like night two. Even further gone. I don't even know how it's possible. And he does the same thing. Well, we were leaving on the third morning. Dude, he's not home. He's not home. He's not with us at the airport. His wife is calling all of us. I can't get a hold of him. His location, I don't know where he is. Nothing. Okay. And it got to the point where, as bad as we felt, we're like, we don't know. He bailed. Like he went, like, we don't know either. And we're worried about it, but we waited as long as we could, and I don't know. That makes us sound like way worse friends than we are. Okay. There was still a couple people at the Airbnb, but some of us were leaving. So they hadn't seen him. Okay. Those guys now leave at like, I don't know, noon. He's not there. He gets back right after them when the maids are there, and he's in the shower while the maids are there. He scares the hell out of him. He had to get home like whatever day later. Same thing though. He crashed again. He got lost. I don't know where he went, where he slept.
Dude, why do you not learn? Like,
I don't know. It's crazy.
Wow. I got a bachelor story too, but we wanted to stay on Hive Mind Fine, so let's do that. But I got a bachelor story too.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's probably
for another night.
Yeah. Well, let's see how quick we get through these. But this is another one we had talked about with Sherlock and the Grub Truck timeline. So I wanted to put this in here. This comes from Alyssa, and it was saying that Inan, I can never say his name, admitted he was at the Grub Truck, found this on Rumble. And you can't see the timestamps, but people are asking him like, hey, is that you? And he was on this chat, and he's like, yes, that is 100% me. Not that we didn't know that about the robe guy, but you know, you want to talk about some people that have inserted themselves into a spot of suspicion.
Yeah.
He certainly has. If he's not guilty, which again, obviously I'm not saying he is, he's done a really good job at drawing a lot of attention to himself.
Yeah.
Have you dove into him at all, or?
No, I haven't, but I do want to say a weird phenomenon with the grub truck thing. When this first happened, a buddy of mine, I almost felt like he thought he was a celebrity because he knew a guy that was on the grub truck video. I know. Hey, do you ever heard about this murder? There's a guy there, and I'm friends with that guy. And I'm like, how is your 15 minutes of fame that you know somebody who's on a grub truck video who isn't involved with the murder, but they just got caught on camera at the grub truck? So, anyways, it's weird.
Who was the people that come out? That was like a creator.
That was no, it was a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. When this first started happening, he was telling me, and it was funny because had I been a YouTuber at the time when he said this, I would have wanted to go after his friend for an interview because he's like, hey, my friend was at the grub truck, he was there that night, and I'm like, it's funny because now years later, I'm like, well, shit. In fact, I did reach out to him and said, hey, remember that story you told me about the friend of yours that was at the grub truck? Yeah, we don't really talk. He's not friends with me anymore, and whatever. And I'm like, damn it. But anyways, yeah.
Well, it's like
I don't know about this guy though.
I don't know either. There's a lot of people that certainly, if I had to put him in, put him on a list of possibilities, he's on there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you can't be.
At this point, who's not on the list? Like the list of suspects in this case is ridiculous.
and I mean, he had contact with them. He lived close to them. He was out there where they were that night. His alibi is, I think he said he was like working late. Isn't he the one that saw the white car randomly too? Who knows?
Leaving the grub truck?
No, like parked on the road or something.
Oh, okay.
So, but anyways, that was interesting. And then this goes right into it. This is what Sherlock from Down the Rabbit Hole to Hell. I know I'd shown this with Sherlock, but if you haven't seen that, Sherlock was saying maybe this food truck timestamp is right. Now, there was a creator, I think his name is Toes. He did find a clip of them in this video saying, what time is it? And it was like, whatever. It was the timeline that we know. But to Sherlock's point, I'll read what Down the Rabbit Hole to Hell said. This always annoyed me why the Twitch stream was 2 hours in advance at the time they said Kaylee and Maddie left the grub truck. As you can see, the stream says 3:53 and 27 seconds in the morning as both girls leave the scene. Is Twitch set for another time? I had looked it up saying that wherever you view it from, that is the timestamp that you're going to see it in. So like right now, if you're in Central Time, it's 7:40, but if you're on the East Coast, you're watching this and it's 8:40, right? That's kind of how I would guess this works. I would also ask, like, okay, if this is, 2 hours in advance, is a grub truck Twitch stream in Moscow, Idaho, that interesting of a stream that someone's going to be watching it on the East Coast and just so happen to take a screenshot of it? I don't know. I mean, maybe they were watching it after the fact. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
well, I will tell you this. Way back in 2012, when the Aurora, Colorado shooting happened at the theater, there was a large number of people who just listened to police scanners all the time. And some guy was recording in real time the police and fire dispatch as they were being called out to the shooting that night. And so there's a lot of people who just do that. They just record all the time. So I wouldn't necessarily be surprised that there are people who are just recording all the time, the grub truck video or whatever, and just happen to have, hey, oh shit, I got that on, I was recording that all night last. I don't know why they do it exactly, but some people will record that shit all the time.
It's like a trail cam type
yeah,
thing.
In case something happens, right? I mean, you don't know when something crazy is going to happen, so you have to record 24/7 so that you have it on camera when it did happen. So
yeah, are you a trail cam guy? Do you have
not
any?
really? I mean, no, but I've no, not really, but yeah.
Yeah, like we got like security cameras and everything, but like up at our cabin, I feel like that would be interesting. Probably something we should do, but I don't know. I'm always like, I'm also kind of like always kind of weirded out whenever I see footage of it. I'm like, damn, that would be kind of weird to get an alert. Like if you have a bunch of land and you just see this weird, hellacious looking figure on your trail cam, like I don't know if I'd want to know that's out there.
I did when I first got into security cameras. As an aside, when I first got into security cameras in Everett, I think it was where I was living, I put a camera on the outside of the house, and I was surprised to see like raccoons come up to the house in the middle of the night and stuff like that, and mess around in their bushes and stuff like that. And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like you're sleeping away at night, you don't realize that your house is being cased by a raccoon with freaking like a bandit ready to break into your house, kind of thing. So it was interesting seeing some of the critters that come up to your house in the middle of the night. But
have you ever had somebody break in to your house or your car?
No, I don't think I have.
No. I had my car get robbed outside of a high school baseball game for the change in my middle console and my radar detector. I was pissed about the fuzzbuster. Those things aren't that cheap. And I like for being in high school, I think it was like whatever, $120. Like I was ready to go to war to get that thing back.
I do. As an aside, for those who want to take out a YouTuber, I do have my whole house rigged up with cameras. So if you do come in, it's all cloud based. You're going to be on camera. So smile when you come in to kill me. You're going to be, and I'm going to fire back at you. So there you go.
Let's start a DA like live stream 24/7. Okay, 24/7. We're just going to be watching. We can just click in whatever we want.
We probably shouldn't do that.
Patrolling your yard in a robe and whitey tighties with a shotgun or something. I could see
there are people who do that. Like they just do their whole life on camera. Yeah. But not me.
Right. Exactly.
I'm a private kind of guy.
All right. Moving on to this next one. This one is so interesting, and I'm so glad that I remember this one. So what I'm going to do actually too is I'm going to change this layout, DA, so that you and I can, 1 second. So that you and I can be on the screen. There we go. Whoops.
I got to get that circle look on my StreamYard. That's cool.
Yeah. Let me, all right. There we go. Now we'll be up at the top in circles. Okay. So this is super interesting. This came from Dana, and Dana found this on the general discussion thread of Moscow murders. This is the only time that I've ever seen this, was this Hive Mind find that Dana Allen had sent. So it says, I have software that studies retail foot traffic. Basically, it uses cell phone pings from various locations. You type in a target, and it shows the number of visitors to target, shows approximate location where the pings go next and where they come from. It works for any address, honestly. You just have to create a POI for non-retail areas. So I created a POI, basically a box around the 1122 King Road house, plus or minus 100 feet or so. Then I went back 6 months, and I noticed that there were a lot of pings from the house to the dentist office. It has to ping at both locations for it to work. Well, I noticed that over the last 6 months, the 10th most visited place post the house, so meaning when you left the house, was this dentist office, aside from normal retail places. Unless someone in the immediate area was working there, then it's odd. Interestingly, if you go back and compare with January and June, there are no visits or pings on either spot. More interestingly, I searched the dentist office, and one guy is a Navy vet, says the knife was one that may be frequently the choice of military folk. Also, lots of late night pings originating from both areas as well.
Huh.
Now that's interesting. One thing, oh, damn, that comment. Who did I think I was back in the day? Just like, I had a toothache. You believe me, right? on the characters down there. Oh, man. Well, what I wanted to do here is go onto Google Earth. And I wanted to look up just like dentist office in Moscow, Idaho. Now, DA, so you said you did like security cam stuff and all that.
Yeah.
When you read what I just kind of had said there about this, foot traffic thing, I'm not sure if just with security cameras, do you guys have like software that could track, like if they are cloud based, like, hey, this person showed up on camera 1 and then we got them again on camera 12. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Where it would just
it depends on how sophisticated. Yeah, it depends on how sophisticated your software is. A lot of them aren't that sophisticated, but yeah, I mean, they've got identification to be able to tell when it's a human or a cat, and they can do facial recognition on them and stuff like that, depending on your software and stuff like that. And there's a lot of cool stuff you can do, like geofencing around your house. Let me know when so-and-so's car arrives in my neighborhood or whatever. You could do that kind of stuff, and there's some cool stuff out there.
I mean, this is
shit. Genius. I should be a private investigator.
right? Does anybody by chance know off the top of their head, like if they had read this thread or the comments, what the dentist office was? I mean, there's a ton, or I guess there's not a ton. There's 4. There's 2 that are close to each other. Before I pull this up, I just wanted to see if anybody knew that, because I can do some random ones, but you know what? I'm gonna lose my mind over DA. You will literally see me. You will literally see. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Shit a golden brick. I have no idea. If one of these dentist office is now permanently closed. Right? I mean, that would be the craziest thing ever. So let's do this. Isn't that such a cool
live
background?
dig? It is very cool. Yeah.
Is this your first live dig in the Hive?
No, I've seen them before. I've never participated in them.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do dentist office, Moscow, Idaho.
See, you're braver than me. Like I can't pull up my internet search and start typing in stuff with the pre-filled in information. You never know what might pop up on my screen.
Oh, I think we could guess, DA. Something like Tig old biddies.
I would never want to start a thing for Tig. Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, Moscow family dentistry. So just to give everybody a zoomed out view, right? I mean, houses over here by the University of Idaho area. Oh, there's one there's 2 that are close here.
Yeah.
Wait, Palouse. Why does that sound? Oh, that's
Palouse is kind of the general area. Palouse Falls, a lot of Palouse stuff around that whole area.
Somebody said dirty feet pics. Oof. That's rough, DA.
Are people watching my internet feed again? No.
Right. I just want to go ahead and see this. I mean,
look at that.
So, you know what I'm thinking of? When I think of this, though, what comes to your mind, DA, with what this person had said about hey, it's at a dentist office. Okay, so here's one.
So they're trying to say that things are pinging at the house and the dentist office.
Yeah, the exact words were, okay, when I created this box around the home of plus or minus 100 feet, and then I went back 6 months, I noticed that there were a lot of pings from the house to a dentist office. Well, if he did it plus or minus 100 feet, my question now is, are there apartments that are really close to this place, right, that would make sense for foot traffic more than retail? And I believe, if I'm correct in this, which how the hell do I get out of Street View? Do I just zoom out enough? There we go. Aren't there... Am I wrong in thinking that isn't there apartments that were relevant over here at some point?
Yeah, I think so, but
yeah, I could have swore that there was like apartments that people had said they lived in, or they like where they parked. Wasn't there something with like Kaylee where they parked and they said like, oh, I can't remember the name of it. Damn it.
The Queen Road apartments?
No.
You're not talking about there. You're talking about somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I could have swore it was like. Okay, so. Okay, the house is gone. This is where it would be. Right, this is current. Yeah. Let's go back.
Oh, so the whites. Yeah.
No, but that's not the name I'm thinking of though.
Okay.
Okay, so here's 2022. Here's obviously, King Road. So there's two dentist offices that are over here. And if it's plus or minus 100 feet, like I'm thinking like in here somewhere.
Yeah.
And then there's another one right here.
Hmm.
And then if we go all the way back, here's two more. So I'm not sure. Xana works for Palouse Realtors. Is that close by over there? I don't know. Interesting to look into, though, you know? Like, I'd be curious what that could possibly be.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go check that out.
Yeah. Now, dude, this one's pretty wild as well. This comes from Paul Daddy. What is it with people in the hive? I've said this last time that this came up. What is it with we have Daddy Jones, we got Paul Daddy. I mean, it feels a little bit weird, maybe just because of, never mind. You know what? I'm moving on. So, okay.
Never mind.
Yeah. All right. So, hi, Birdie. I've always thought a gun was used ever since I saw the police clearing the house. The first photo, if you zoom in, you can clearly see that there's a high velocity impact pattern. I've seen a photo showing this, and other thing that convinces me is Maddie's room from outside. You can see that they have cut pieces out of the wall. This is telling there was bullets in the wall. Keep up the good work. So I have wondered about this too. Like what would this possibly be needed for up here? Again, if what they say happened, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff. They had I can't remember who the guy was, but there was a guy that specialized in trajectory of bullets and stuff like that was brought in on the case, which made you wonder about the whole thing too. Like, I don't know. Like, are they just citing stuff? Are they just getting? Are they just using for measuring distances with that? I can't tell what he's actually using there in that picture in the corner.
So, Sherlock says correct that is a high velocity spatter at the bottom of the sliding glass door. Yeah, so I'm not sure. DA, do you want to? I gotta run to the bathroom quick. Just pee.
Oh,
Can
shit.
you want to read some of these comments off? I'll leave this full screen for you. I'll be right back.
Read the comments. Yeah, so he just took off. Well, let's see if he's talking about leaving the comments on our chat. That'd be one thing. Does anybody? So when you say high velocity, I was. Don't start the Tego videos. The high velocity spatter you said on this image. I have to zoom in on my screen just to see it a little bit better. The targeting thing that they got against the wall. I don't know. See, the problem I have too, by the way, with all of that is I don't know what the history of that house is. So even if there was something there, you don't know if it happened during the commission of that crime or if it was there from before. So I'm curious about that. Looking at the Jack Showalter DNA linked to, I was going to link to the sheet. That's the second time or third time I've heard about the Jack Showalter's DNA linked to the sheath. I was going to ask Birdie about that as well. I'm trying to really vet that. That would be a game changer if it's really true. But I'm looking for that definitive. It's for sure, and I have it as a guess, not a guess, but I want to make sure that I'm right about that before I repeat that. That would be a massive game changer. Massive. I can't even imagine how much of a game changer that is. But I have not been able to verify that myself. So I can't believe he just left me alone like this. I was not ready. I was not ready for this kind of commitment. What else do we have? Anybody got a question for me? Throw me something up here. I'm not doing well with the he can't leave me on a gun pattern thing because I don't know enough about that one. I am watching the chat though. Here on the coin. How was your day, DA? Well, it was pretty good, Cat's Mojo. Thank you very much for asking. I'm rearranging my studio and then rearranging a bedroom and rearranging furniture. I was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning and had to get up at 7 in the morning. So I've had a rough day sleep-wise, but everything is good here. Thank you. We're all good here. Thank you. Nothing to see here. What's your opinion of those Tiggo videos? You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me with that stuff. I know I did it to myself for sure. New York was amazing. Oh my gosh. Thank you for asking about that. By the way, I'm heading to, for those who don't know, I've been asking whether I should keep this on down low. I'm going to be heading to Moscow, Idaho and Pullman, Washington here very shortly. With another individual and doing some on the boot stuff. And I am trying to line up a conversation or two, an interview. So I've got some stuff out there and I'm hoping to get something from that soon. So hopefully we will get confirmation and I'll be able to give you something cool and different from Idaho 4. We'll see how that works out. New York was amazing though. Thank you for that. But we should stay on Idaho 4 since we're on Idaho 4. Grandma has Tiggo saggy bitties. Fantastic. Well, gravity is a bitch sometimes. So thank you so much for that. What else do we got? Diabetes. I can't pin his comments to here. So where the hell did he go? Enjoyed the Idaho 4 theories. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about my 27 theories in the Idaho 4 case that I heard. Yeah, that was a that was a lot of fun putting that together. I need to do something like that again soon on some other cases that I have. But welcome back, Bertie. You left me hanging on the gun thing, and I didn't know how to go with it. So most people have been throwing Tiggo bitties in my face, or as Grandma says, saggy Tiggo bitties. So yeah, it's been kind of fun.
Well, we know you like gilfs. So, or no, you said nuns. You said nuns.
Nilfs. Yeah,
Nilfs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sherlock just asked you, will you do a new Idaho 4 theory video with all this new info?
That'd be kind of cool. I might have to do that.
That would be fun. Cat's Mojo submitted this one and it said, this is from Cool Her Lucher. If Brian committed the crime, then the plea deal is the best option for him. He lives, right? But if Brian committed the crime, then why would the prosecution agree to a plea deal? A massive global high profile case like this, they got their man. Their case is so strong, they're sure to win, right? Sends a message to everyone, restores faith regarding the safety of Moscow. The economy is saved and restored. Students return to the University of Idaho because their admissions have taken a hit. The return of a win at trial is immense for Idaho. The cost of the trial is a fraction of the return of status, branding, and potential financial investment into the state. They did the plea bargain because their case is circumstantial and it curtails the defense's voice and narrative from having a global platform. There was a risk of losing, going to trial. They couldn't control the outcome. Legally, in a public arena, under the spotlight, being scrutinized, right? So, if Brian is innocent, the plea deal is the best and only option available at this time to secure a favorable outcome for him. The most important, that he lives. He's not killed, right? But because there is no trial and there is no judgment, no summary based upon evidence presented at trial, then all this evidence is up for new presentation, right? Brian has options: ineffective counsel, presenting new evidence to exonerate him. That will be wrapped up in exculpatory evidence and the alt perps, right? The DNA especially. Also, procedural error and prosecutorial misconduct, the grand jury representation or the grand jury presentation. If I was to place a bet, then I would predict that the defense already have the exculpatory evidence. What they need was more time in relation to their theory regarding the alt perps, or they realized that Hitler was going to suppress that, and or they did not want to show their hand. This is what Thompson was trying to sniff out. The defense case has been focused upon delay for a reason, discovery, and the need for more time. Taking the plea deal removes Hitler. They now have to get the case out of Idaho. Can that be done?
I want to comment on a lot of what you said. So
yeah,
I do believe Ann Taylor knows there's exculpatory evidence that would have helped Brian Kohberger. And I do believe Ann Taylor was flat out told by Hitler he will not allow her to bring it into the courtroom. And I do believe that she tried to beg him for a route to get it in, right? So like, for example, with the alt suspects, the alt perpetrators, a weird rule is that you need to have actually more evidence to bring in an alternate suspect than you do to accuse Brian Kohberger in the first place. You almost have to be able to prove. So for the alternate suspects, you have to be able to prove they could have been there and could have done the crime, which is even higher standard than what they had to prove for Brian Koberger, where they literally said, we can't place him at the house. We're not sure how he picked the house. We're not sure he knows the girls. They could just accuse him. There's a higher standard to bring in the alternative suspects. And Hitler was saying, if you're going to bring in an alternative suspect, you need to show that the person could have committed the crime and that they had motive to do so, which is more than they would have even had to have shown for Koberger. So it's really stacked against you for not even bringing in the alternative suspects. Ann Taylor, I think, knew that she had an uphill battle to even bring up an alternative suspect because of the rules. And she was trying to find a way to get Hitler to say, and he kind of did say, okay, if you're not going to let me bring up the alternative suspect, can you at least let me start questioning law enforcement on the stand about certain things? And if they open themselves up to our alternative suspects, then we'll go that route. And he did say, yeah, if during the course of your cross interrogation, you can get an officer essentially to trip up and say something and open the avenue for you to bring in your alternative suspect, you could. So where I'm going with that is this. I think Ann Taylor does know an alternative suspect. I think she does know what exculpatory information Bethany Funk has. I think she does know, and Hitler was not going to allow her to bring it into the courtroom. And she was trying to find a way to bring it in. And when she finally realized there was no way Hitler was going to allow her to bring it in, that led to them saying, we're going to have to take a plea because we're just flat out not going to be allowed to bring in who actually did it or who we think might have done it. Or even if it wasn't who did it, the exculpatory information to say it could have been somebody else. And here's the reason why it could have been somebody else.
Can I ask you this though? Unless I just have a complete misunderstanding of the legal system, which don't get me wrong, there's aspects of it that I probably do. This one, I don't think I do though. Why would you have to do anything other than just show you didn't do it? You have doubt. Am I like, I'm asking that not to be facetious.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Right.
Isn't it, you plead your case as to, I am wrongfully being accused of this crime. 12 of your peers go and find yes or no.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, what you're asking is a difficult question because he did have the right to say, I didn't do it, prove I did it. And he has the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. All that got effed when he said, yeah, I did it. And nobody forced me to say I did it. I did it. So that you're right. And this is why I told you, I'm so upset when I'm in the courtroom and Hitler says, I want you to hear what they would have had to have proven. Hitler knows they would have had to have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that he did it. And it was almost like Hitler was saying, I want you to understand, they would have had to prove to a jury beyond reasonable doubt that you did it. And I want you to hear them tell you what they have, which was Bill Thompson getting up and saying, we can't place him at the house. We can only place him near the house. It's a circumstantial case. We don't have proof of anything. And it's like, and he heard all of that and said, yeah, I did it. I'm like, I don't even know what the hell he was thinking. Like, he literally was having the judge tell him they have to prove it beyond reasonable doubt and they can't, but he still took the plea. So then it asks you what else is going on.
Well, and here's what's confusing too. When you bring up Hitler, I felt like Hitler, outside of the leaks, right, and questioning and kind of pressing the state on the leaks, I felt like Ann Taylor was running up against a brick wall with him, and he would almost counter her in the middle of this, like, and kind of rattle her. Not saying she was rattled, but I'm saying I don't know how it wouldn't be rattling if I'm in the middle of making my point. I'm trying to find the exact exhibit numbers, document numbers, and you got Hitler going, yeah, like that voice that noise he'd make, and it's like, dude. So okay, here's another question then. Legally, how, in what way could this have been the most beneficial thing for Brian Koberger to do, to just say that? Is it that he protects his evidence or exculpatory evidence if they really did, according to, if we're going to go off of what Katz Mojo from Cool Her Lucher said on this comment, he's not showing his hand. So he really has shown none of his hand. They've just tested evidence. They've told the story. Although the prosecution did also say, we're not even going to try to theorize or some shit like that. What do you think about that?
I mean, so I think I think I can understand what your question is. I think if Brian Koberger knows that there's information that could have come, okay, how do I explain this? If Brian Koberger knows there's information that could come out that will prove he couldn't have done it, but Hippler was making it clear he wasn't going to allow that to come in, then follow the logic. If it ever does come out, even outside the trial, that Brian Koberger could not have done it, I don't care what deal he made, it's off the table. If it can be proven that Brian Koberger could not have done what they said he did, regardless of him signing a piece of paper saying I did it, he will walk, because you can't convict somebody of something they could not have done. So if Koberger knows that there's something out there that's going to exonerate him, is going to prove it, then he could, if he's that brave of a person, sign a confession and say, yeah, I did it, and just wait for that information to get released. And then he'll walk when the information comes out proving he couldn't have been there. But I'm not saying that's what the case is, but that would be a scenario in which I'll sign it because Hippler's not going to allow us to bring it in, but somebody else will bring it in, and we'll get it in a different way. And then I'll walk. But,
and to Cookie's Corner, 420's point, they said jury would have to be able to critically think, and that's not common anymore. I actually had this exact thought about a jury about 2 days ago driving, DA. Do you know roundabouts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched this woman stop at every single opening of a roundabout. Like,
oh, wow.
And I thought to myself, that person would be on a jury. I'm serious. I had that thought.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is unbelievable. How long have roundabouts been a thing? Like a decade and a half? Where they're everywhere now. And I think, here, have you ever seen that chart? Let me see if I can find a picture of it. Have you ever seen that chart of guilty or not guilty, the chart they show juries?
No.
I was watching.
That's funny that I wouldn't have seen it, because it seemed like that would be something I would definitely see. But.
Or the burden of proof chart is what it's called.
Okay.
So here's what it looks like. Come on, load. I'll make this full screen. It still might be a little bit tough to see. It's right in the bottom right here. So this, okay, everything under this red line is not guilty. So think of that standard.
Right.
It's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Not guilty, highly likely, not guilt likely, not probably guilty, possibly guilty, suspected, perhaps, may not be, possibly not, unlikely, preferably not, probably not, less than likely, highly unlikely, proven not guilty. Okay. That should be a really high burden of proof.
Yeah. For sure. And it's designed that way. It's designed to give the benefit of doubt to the accused.
So do you think, Hive, let's do a poll, DA. Type of 1, if you think that 12 people would have found Brian guilty. Type of 2, if you think that at least one person would not have. In an average jury. I think out there, a lot of people said, what do they call that? Before the trial, like an influenced jury or a corrupted jury, or you know what I mean, with ads or videos they show. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of 2s. There's some 1s.
And 2 is being that they think somebody would have held out and said not guilty.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I hate to say this, but I feel like if they were going to win the not guilty thing, I feel like somebody else other than Ann Taylor needed to make the close. She was too rattled by Hippler, like you said, and she would have come off shaky. But if you had a top-notch lawyer making a close, I bet you easily convince a jury that there's reasonable doubt there. I just don't know if she could do it. And I hate to say that because I don't know how, her as a person, and I don't know, she's a lot better than I think, but man, she came off shaky and rattled a lot in that trial. So I don't know.
Yeah. The other thing,
close.
I mean, we have to also look at human nature. Bill Thompson is about to retire. Let's say, even if before this case, he was probably coming up with 33 years as a prosecutor. Like, you're probably getting close to the end of your career. Wouldn't you want to go out on a banger? Wouldn't you want to go out on something that's rock solid? This defined his entire career.
Yeah.
He struck out big time. And if it's not fully believed yet in the public, mark my words, DA, it will be. in the next couple of years, it'll be known what happened in this case. I truly believe that the truth is going to come out. I feel as if there was too much going on for this to get swept under the rug. And the other encouraging thing is that the media at the same time, they're not sweeping this under the rug, DA. They're still choosing to cover it. Yeah. Why are you choosing to follow Brian Koberger? And now you're saying he's fighting paying the restitution, or you're leaking his complaints, all this stuff.
Somebody was asking that when you were away too, and they wanted my opinion about Koberger fighting the restitution. What are your thoughts on the Koberger fighting the restitution?
Well, I watched that News Nation thing with that Jesse guy, and he had some lawyer on there. The lawyer was saying that could possibly impede on the First Amendment right as a prisoner, to say that you can't make money off of this. And then with the restitution, I mean, there's a lot of people that can't pay.
Yeah.
Is what he ultimately said. So there is an Idaho law that says, but the money that they wanted, to me, it seemed very, very low. Like it was like $8,000 or $14,000. And I'm thinking for injuries sustained during the crime. And I'm like, that's just a weird way verbatim that the law is written if you were murdered.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so here's what I'd say. I don't know if it's weird to fight paying the restitution if you're not, I don't know. What do you think? I guess I don't really have an answer. I guess I'm saying, actually I do. I'm not surprised that people would fight that from behind bars. Like, what is he's in jail the rest of his life. Like, what's he going to do? Go work?
Well, that's my point. Like part of me was thinking, like, why would you fight the restitution? What do you give a shit? If you're in jail for the rest of your life, who cares if they tell you owe $10 or you own $10 million? You're never going to be able to pay it off. You're never going to have a real job. When you do work in prison, you're not working to make money. You're working because you want to get out of your jail cell and you're bored and you want to have something to do. Those jobs aren't because you're going to make money. So what does it accomplish by saying, well, I don't want to pay the families this kind of money? So I've been trying to really noodle, and unfortunately I didn't spin the cycles to figure out under what reasons would he have for fighting the restitution fines? Because other than, and I don't know the law on this, and I'm pretty good about the law, but other than if he somehow gets out of jail, if he somehow gets exonerated through some kind of evidence that comes forward that proves he couldn't have done it, do the fines that have been levied about him still stand in some weird ass way in some kind of scenario in which he would want to have those cleared so that if he gets exonerated, he doesn't owe people shit. But I don't know how you could exonerate somebody and not also cancel all of the civil penalties that went along with it. But then again, you hear civil matters are different than criminal matters. So is the money part a civil lawsuit? See, this is where I wish I knew the law better. This is when we need Ali Benevento on here right now, because is the restitution part a civil suit, and the murder is a capital murder, a criminal suit. So therefore, even if it's exonerated and that's what happened to OJ, right? OJ Simpson was exonerated for murder, but he lost a civil suit and had to pay the families tons of money, and it bankrupted him. So is that the situation that's happening? If Brian Koberger gets exonerated for murder, will he still face the civil suit? And so he's fighting the civil money. That's what it feels like.
So it says the big question. I typed in that question as you were talking, and it says the logic kind of gets tangled because the statutes talk about defendants who are found guilty and the victims of crimes. If you're exonerated, you weren't found guilty or your conviction was overturned, so the usual mechanics may not apply exactly the same. The restitution, this is for Idaho law, by the way, says that if the defendant is found guilty of any crime, shall, unless, quote, make restitution. If the conviction is reversed or dismissed, that, quote, found guilty bit changes status. There's a fine statute of 19-5307. It likewise applies when the defendant is found guilty. So if you were later exonerated, the baseline assumption that the defendant is guilty is undermined. The new compensation law for wrongful convictions shows the state recognizes exonerees are a special case, but it seems separate from the restitution or fine mechanics. It gives relief. It doesn't say automatic removal of fines. Oh man, that could get hairy too then.
Yeah. So if he can be exonerated but not reduce the fines in any kind of scenario, then fighting the fines is necessary, because if you get exonerated, you don't want to get exonerated and then be bankrupt the rest of your life because you still owe the family's money for something that you've been exonerated for. It's a weird question, but
well, and the girl from Texas, April, says if he's exonerated and has a wrongful conviction, will the state owe him? That's what I was wondering then. Like, does the state just pay off that balance and then reimburse the wrongful convictee, right?
And again, I wish I knew the law, but I will tell you this: in the case of the documentary Outcry, where a gentleman did spend time in jail for something he didn't do and was exonerated, they had to pay him something like $800,000 in restitution for wrongful imprisonment and sticking him away. But again, that might be independent of any civil lawsuits that he might have lost against people. So they do pay them for their time that they stuck him behind bars, but that's maybe independent. Like, this is where we need a lawyer on here to break down the restitution fight, because it is something that I feel like I'm speaking out of my ass a little bit. I'm making educated guesses, but I feel like I wish I would have been better prepared for that, but it's all good. It's a live show.
Yeah. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, how much would you guess that Kohberger would be reimbursed if he is found if he is found to be wrongfully convicted, let's just say on January 1st, 2026, given, what would they say that? Damages, fees, what else could you say? Defamation, I don't know, etc., that wrongful convictees would typically, sue for or get from the state of Idaho. Let's see what it says. What would you guess before it answers?
I don't have a guess, unfortunately. I didn't hear exactly how you worded it. I was kind of reading the chat instead of listening as much to what you were typing, unfortunately. My bad.
So as of now, if you're on death row, the rate is higher. It's 75 G's a year in Idaho. Also, compensation for each year on parole, or if you were required to be a sex offender and register for that, that's another 25 G's a year. The Wrongful Conviction Act signed in 2021, the compensation for exonerees is $62,000 per year of wrongful imprisonment. So Kohberger, that would be, well, that's saying 5 years, 9 months. It was awarded in Idaho was $320,000. God, I mean, dude, $62,000 a year for being wrongfully convicted. You could go get a job making more than that, and I'm sure they're going to tax this shit.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, they're. I mean, not to get into the weeds, but they're. Go ahead.
$186,000 is what ChatGPT is saying, and it's saying, I mean, this is probably just coming from the state. But with so then obviously the major money would come from the civil suit, which would be, it's guessing anywhere from 1 to 10 million. Okay. So
because he'd sue the state for the wrongful conviction and then win that separately.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Honest question. What would you sue for if you were him right now?
If I was wrongfully convicted and then I got exonerated, what would I?
No, you went through exactly what Brian just did. And you're a 31-year-old guy. What would you do?
There's not a dollar amount that's high enough for how angry I would be. I would want them to pay and fucking bankrupt their state. Like I thought you were about to say you need to shut down Idaho because you no longer exist as a state. You have to fold your state because you fucked up that bad. Like, you can't ruin somebody's life that much and walk away. They need to pay. But that's if that happened. But
you know what's interesting about people who have been wrongfully convicted for years, at least the ones that I've seen, they come out and they're really just kind of over it. Like they're not over. I'm not saying that they're mad or they're not mad. They don't want to get money, but it seems like they're just exhausted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, usually it will come out in like a docuseries or a book, and then they get awarded their big thing. I can't imagine. I'm sorry. Even trying to prove something for a week, for a day, for 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, I would be a pit bull and And of course, he doesn't even have to, because a lawyer who sees that somebody's wrongfully convicted to be like, you know what, you just go enjoy your life and let me do the rest, and I'll sue the shit out of him and take a cut of the money, because I'm going to sue the hell out of him.
Well, it's like, and it's also like, dude, what does that guy go do for the rest of his life?
Yeah.
You know, there's probably enough money to be made in a book or something, right, about your story, that if it's a big enough case, you might not, if you're smart with it, you might not have to go get a job, right?
Yeah.
I think Bryant's probably at that level.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why. What's that?
He's a smart guy, right? He's a smart guy. Yeah.
I just can't imagine. And it's so confusing. On one hand, we're like, he's a smart guy. Well, he's acted like a dumbass in this case. It seems like it. He's staying too quiet.
Right. Unless he knows something we don't know, you know?
Yeah. Mimi says he can get a new trial if new evidence comes out, which I believe they already have. I don't know, man. I don't know, DA. Like, I don't even know if this is going to go to a trial. I could see just some crazy exculpatory evidence that it's boop. Oh my God. We hear about it. Then I bet if that happens, I'm going to also make another prediction. You know what we should do, DA? You and I should pre-record a video. And I saw that Mr. Beast did this. He made a video and he said, he's like, right now I have 8,000 subscribers. I'm going to schedule this video for 10 years from now. So this will go out in 2025. And he goes, man, I hope I have 1 million subscribers. He's like, well, he says, what if I'm dead? It's like, oh man, I hope I'm not dead. You know, like, and now you look at, he's got like 440 million subscribers. He's the biggest name of YouTube. But I'm like, you and I should do that for like a prediction of this case and release it in 10 years.
That would be kind of cool. Yeah. Keep it like a time capsule to be released later on. Like, this is where we think you're going to be in 10 years from now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so my question though, and now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I could see, you know how I just said the media has not really been sweeping this under the rug, right? I could see if there's exculpatory evidence, it's like now they're going to do that. Now they're going to give it the little blip in the radar, a couple articles here. You ain't going to hear Nancy Grace saying that she was wrong.
I just came up with a brainstorm. I don't know if I want to do, I'm nervous saying this. I got a brainstorm. Are you ready?
What? Yeah, say it.
You record and give me the recording. You giving your prediction of what the current condition is in Brian Koberger's case 1 year from today. And you give it to me so you have no way to back out of it. I will push that video 1 year from now and you can't take it back. What you said is, here's what the situation is today. This was my prediction a year ago. Here's what was happening today. I'll do the same, give you that video that you can push out without me being able to retract it. And then we'll see like how embarrassing it is for our predictions to be aired live a year from now. Would that be kind of cool? Scares the shit out of me in a way, but it's kind of cool.
So October 27th.
No, let's do it on the anniversary. Let's do it on the anniversary.
Okay.
November 12th, right? So the next anniversary of the Idaho 4, where are we now? We'll make our prediction and send each other the file so we can't back out of it. And then we'll air it and make them face the music in front of people about how far off you were and what you think the situation is.
All right. That's a good idea to do it because that gives me a little bit of time to really dig in.
Right.
Not that I haven't been dug in, but I'm saying I need. And are we going to go with what should be the stipulations of this? Like one theory, like one trial of like, you know, we should lay out, here's where I think we're going to be. Here's why I think we're going to be. And then do we give like right now, my number one theory on what happened is this. Yeah, something. I mean, yeah, we let's work out the details, but something like this, like if you think, for example, Brian Koberger is going to be killed in jail and he's not going to be alive for a year from now, that's what you're going to say. At this time, you said Brian Koberger is not alive. He was killed 3 months after he was in prison, beaten to death, whatever. You give that prediction and you tell people what you think is going to happen, and that was just a example, and just tell us, or you say Brian Koberger is about to be exonerated. It's come out now that he's going to have a new trial, but whatever you think is going to be the case, 1 year from November 12th, 13th, when the murders happened, we'll do that and see who came closest on that trial. That'd be fun, I think. Or it scares the piss out of me on how bad we were wrong. But and what's the wager on this?
Ooh, yes, a wager. Oh my gosh, a wager. I love it. I don't know. We should let the audience pick with the wager. Like do a shaming thing. Like the audience should pick something that we have to be ashamed of.
Why couldn't we just do like $100? You know, like
we could, but is that fun? Like, what if we have to, what if I have to, anyways, I don't even want to give people ideas, but you're right, $100, I could do $100.
You got to do an entire live stream dressed as your wife.
Dressed as my wife, right? Yeah. What I'm going to do, what I would say is this, because I'm old and I remember Saturday Night Live and a character by Dana Carvey called the Church Lady, and she would do the superior dance. So he would dress up in a wig and he'd do like a little superior dance. When I was thinking, if I'm right a year from now, I will do the superior dance. I'll put on a dress. I'll put on the white wig. I'll put on my glasses, my horn rimmed glasses, and I will do the superior dance. Anyway.
Yeah,
but that's for winning. That's not for losing.
Oh, I was gonna say, DA goes dark immediately with the wager. I have a wager.
I have to shut my channel. There you go. You got to shut your channel down. Birdie's off the air. If you're wrong, you're off the air. You're off the air. Shut your channel down.
No bet. I was gonna say, you have to give me that waitress's number you got at Twin Peaks. And I get to text her 10 texts from your phone.
Oh, no. When I said what an ass, I wasn't talking about myself.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Now, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. I mean.
Oh, my God.
And we should, dude, that could be fun.
It could be fun. We got to think this through before we commit, but it seems like a pretty fun idea.
It does. So those were the handful of Hive Mind finds. I'm glad that we did that, because even just kind of going through that, I mean, Hive, type of one, if there was something in there that you had forgotten about. For me, I forgot about the plus or minus 100 feet that Dana had sent in about how that guy used that technology to say, like, it was this dentist office that they kept having the most traffic to, or was near the dentist office. Be curious if anybody could figure that out, or if that thread is still up. I might have to go look at that. And there's some people in here that don't know the Twin Peaks story.
Oh God. Yeah.
So yeah. I'll give a little, what is that? Before the story, what do you say? What is that?
A preamble?
A preamble.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Preamble.
I love that word. Preamble. It's kind of fun to say. Preamble.
Yeah. I'm a writer. Yeah. You're going to give a preamble? Are we telling the story again? Roughly?
No, I was trying to figure out a joke in my head. I'm glad I didn't.
Okay. All right.
So,
fair enough.
DA was out at the plea hearing, correct? Or the sentencing?
Yeah, the change of plea. Yep, the change of plea.
The change of plea.
Going out to, yeah.
And so DA he was like, I'm hungry. I need to go get lunch. I got to look up I need like a bar burger or something, right? And DA ends up picking this place called Twin Peaks. Now, DA was not aware of what Twin Peaks is. And this here concludes my preamble. I will then let him carry this story away.
Yeah. So I honest to God, despite the fact that nobody would believe me because of the Tiggle Bitties thing, I just thought Twin Peaks was like a mountain thing. It's a weird place.
I mean, yeah, look at all the mountains.
So I thought it was mountain. In fact, their logo is two mountains. It's literally two mountains. I never made the connection. I never made the connection.
Yeah.
Anyways, the point being is that I went in there to have a burger because it got really good reviews. It was a great restaurant to go to. But I did not realize it was like a Hooters. So when I walked in there, the girls are wearing short shorts and showing a lot of cleavage in their tops. But as I had lunch there, the young, pretty waitress. And I knew I'm not dumb enough to know that no 20-year-old female with Tiggle Bitties and short shorts is going to be looking for a hoochie daddy, a sugar daddy. But she's all being super friendly with me because the place was dead. It was dead. So she's like, hey, what are you doing? And she literally like half sits her ass on my seat to sit there and talk to me. What are you doing? What are you in town for? And I'm like, hey, I'm just here for checking out the Kobergers thing. Oh, really? You're into the Brian Koberger thing? She goes, I happen to know that my sister dates the guy that dated Kaylee and was with him at the corner club that night. And I'm like, and at first I thought to myself, I can't believe that just happened. And I let it go. Like I was like, oh, that's cool. And she walks away. And then as I'm watching her walk away, not checking out the short shorts, of course, just watching her walk away, I'm thinking to myself,
you dog.
I'm thinking to myself, fuck, I missed an opportunity there. And again, the story only. So so I had to like summon this inner confidence. And she came back and she's like, so how, how's your food or whatever? And I said, hey, it's really good, but can I ask you about that Idaho 4 story again? Like you said, somebody. Yeah. So she sat down and she talked, and she got me so distracted that when I left and I was so excited to give her my business card, I got her number. She literally gave me her phone number. I said, you want to put your phone number in my phone? And had it not been for the fact that this was purely a business transaction, I would have felt like a dirty old man. But I'm like, hey, would you put me your phone number in my phone? And she's like, sure. So she puts it in there. I'm watching other people out of the corner of my eyes that are looking at me like, how the fuck did that old dude get that chick's number? Because they have no clue. They're not listening to the conversation. They're thinking I'm the biggest player in the world, which really helped with the confidence game. I got to tell you anyways. So anyways, she gives me the phone number. I tell my wife, hey, by the way, I went to a bar and I got a 20-year-old's phone number. I'll be home in a little bit. That went really well as well. But anyways, in my excitement, I left the bar and I forgot to tip her. And so I texted her on my phone as I was leaving and I was well down the road. Oh my God. I realized I didn't give you a tip. What an ass.
Oh, what an ass.
Was it right? What an ass. I said, I didn't give you a tip. I said, what an ass. And after I sent that, I thought, she's literally wearing short shorts and she's probably thinking I just said I should have tipped you because you had a great ass. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, so I had to write back and I'm like, no, what I said, what an ass. I meant that I didn't give you a tip, not. And so you're like, dude, you're just making it worse. And I was going to leave that whole shit out and not talk about Twin Peaks, but you're like, hey, Lee was at Twin Peaks and just told somebody chick that what an ass.
Well, it was funny because the way that I love that story because you're like, oh my God, I just said what an ass. And then you correct it. And then I thought you were going to go back again and recorrect it and say, not that you don't have. And I just keep going and going and going and going. But did anything ever come out of that? Did you ever talk with them? No.
I reached out to her one more time. So what happened was she told me that her mother knew more of the story. So she was talking about her sister was the focus, but her mother knew more of the story. And she said, let me talk to my mother. So there you go. That takes all the fun out of it. I got to talk to her mom instead of the 20-year-old hot chick at the bar. Hey, let me talk to my mom and see if it's okay. I'm like, fuck. All right. But anyways,
genetics, you never know. Looks, right?
Right. I mean, there's some hot moms. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, so, and in fact, there's hot grandmas. Don't get me wrong. But anyways, the point being is that
hot nuns.
There's hot nuns, and I'll tell you that much. I got a sweater about that. But the point being is that, I did let some time go by, and and then I realized because I have social anxiety, I sent her a message that said this. I said, I don't want to keep hounding you. So I'm going to ask one more time if you or your mom want to get together. And no, I didn't word it that way. Wanted to go on an interview. And I said, and if you do, please reach out to me, but I'm not going to keep bugging you. So this will be the last message if I don't hear from you. And I never heard from her again. And I just didn't want to be the creepazoid who was using the excuse to have her phone number to contact her all the time. So that was it. I sent her a message and I said specifically, I'm not going to keep bugging you. If you want to go on with me or your mom wants to go on and talk to the story, I'd love to have you. And never heard from her again.
And just to clarify, she had said that her sister is now dating the guy who was with Kaylee. With Jack or
the way I thought she said it was her sister is dating the guy who was dating Kaylee at the time that the murders happened, and that that he was at the corner club with her. But
I don't know why. I just read that in such a burn, like crumple Stitzel skin. said, well played, sir. Not. Yeah, DA. Not.
Not. Yeah, it was. I make a lot of really bad faux pas in my attempt to not be embarrassing. I embarrass myself more. It's what I do.
But, yeah, it is kind of remarkable that we both found females to say that they want to spend the rest of our lives with us, isn't it?
Right. Like, well, I mean, my wife kind of dug this, my stupidity and my sense of humor and my boyish charm, so it is what it is. It comes with
your
this
boyish
benefit.
Charm. I've never heard
boyish charm. Yeah. My boyish charm. I'm like a little kid.
Cause dude, like that could have been such a bombshell if that would have been the case and it would have led to something. I remember you called me, you're like, this is crazy, dude.
I know. I thought it was. I thought it was going to be big. I thought it was going to be big.
And that's what she said.
You had to.
I literally was fighting that. I was fighting that. I was like, Don't say it. And it just happened. Yeah. So,
wow.
but dude, that stuff happens to you a lot. Like I will say, there's probably no lack of entertainment happening when you got boots on the ground out there like that.
Yeah, and you know, a similar thing happened to me with the whole like I thought it was going to be big. A similar thing happened with the Lisk case. When I went out to New York recently, I had somebody that was involved with the case in a way and had given an affidavit to John Ray, and they told me they were going to meet with me personally and do an interview from his channel. And I thought this is going to be amazing. I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to have this person's first ever televised thing, and didn't happen. She backed out, and so like I keep coming close to things that I thought will be cool, but I don't know if maybe it's my uncomfortable delivery. Like maybe that's the problem. They at first they're like, "Hey, I'll do that with you," and then they're like, "That guy's creepy, man. He keeps talking about my ass. I'm not going on with them." So maybe I ruin it. I don't know.
Well, the delivery is everything, right? It's absolutely everything. It's especially everything when you're interacting with a stranger for the first time about the Idaho 4.
Yeah.
Or conspiracies in that matter.
Yeah.
I think I've told you, like when I met Mrs. Birdie, I was just kind of like putting some feelers out there. Like, all right, if I say flat earth, if I say mud flood, if I say like reptilian overlords, right? Like I'm gauging this reaction, the micro expressions. And I'm not sure if it was just going over her head, because in her mind, she's thinking there's no way that this guy that I'm going on a date with really believes all this. He's probably definitely not some guy that spends way too much going down these rabbit holes about how there's potentially shapeshifters that run our world and there's a hollow earth and people live in the middle of it. No, that can't be him. Nobody believes that, right? Yeah. But I mean, dude, I don't know. I gotta say this was a great. Go ahead.
Somebody cracked me up in here when they said that I should have Venmo'd that girl just the tip.
Happy Howard says, I'm realizing how much Birdie is being educated simply by having a YouTube channel. I've heard him say quite often, I never knew that, or wow, from Sword of Common Knowledge things. Taj Mahal. Well, see.
The Taj Mahal. Yeah. Here we go with the Taj Mahal.
That clip is so funny. Because you see the moment I stop mid-sentence. I'm like, no, I cannot admit this on stream.
but you did. Yeah, but you did. It's all good.
And in my defense, it's hard to defend. Okay, it is hard to defend. But it's like, I just remember there's a really cool building overseas as a kid that I would see this NORAD Santa tracker fly over. I thought it was the Taj Mahal, but there's the Red Square in Russia. They don't look that identical, but I remember that one too. Maybe I was just, crossing some wires in my head as a kid.
Yeah,
never.
Yeah.
Now, I should have known as an adult. Yes. But
it's all good. You owned it like a boss. So that's the good thing.
But dude, I was going to say I'm not ending the stream necessarily. I'm just saying, I'm glad that we did this stream. It was nice for you and I to have kind of something to go back to in between the stories. Hive, did you guys kind of like this hybrid version of it? DA and I were kind of talking like, don't get me wrong, I could come up here and I could shoot the breeze with DA all day about anything, as you guys have seen. But I think this was nice to have, some stuff to fall back on. And we got no shortage of Hive Mind finds. So maybe Monday,
I think
that's
you
what
and I
we
realized the last couple of times you and I went, we just bullshitted the entire time, like two bros sitting at a bar, and they're like, maybe we should actually stick to the true crime thing that we actually do instead of just hanging out on camera, having a few drinks and, and partying.
I'm yelling into the mic, someone tell that man my titties, I never felt so good. Like,
it was a great story. It was a great story. Amazing.
You helped me remember stories that I had no idea I would even be remembering, really.
Right.
The comments of somebody had said, I can only imagine how many times Mrs. Birdie has heard these stories.
So you know what? Story time. I told you that I had a bachelor party story. I want to ask everyone, and I want to ask you in front of everyone. And maybe you're probably a better man than me, so I probably shouldn't ask this because it's going to make me look horrible. But this is going to be asking your opinion of the bro code. Are you ready for the bro code?
Yeah.
So, a group of us are going out. A group of guys to go out and have some drinks to celebrate the fact that one of our guys is getting married, whatever. And on that evening of all guys going out, they decide that they want to go to a strip club. This has not been told to all the wives. Now, my wife is very open to that kind of stuff, gives zero shits if I were to go to a titty bar, which is not even my thing. But if I wanted to, she doesn't care. It's not a big deal. So we all go to this topless thing. And one of the guys who's married gets hammered and blows a fuck ton of money on a stripper. Like, lap dance after lap dance, lost hundreds of dollars. Okay. And then later on, he's with his wife, who I know. And she's like, I can't believe that someone stole your credit card when you were out drinking and spent all that money. You need to be suing them. And he says to me, yeah, DA, or he's like, to my name, and he said, hey, Lee, he's like, you were there. That's what happened, right? And I'm like,
skin is crawling.
Right. And I'm like, the bro code. Like, do I have like, no, dude, that's not what happened. Like, you blew hundreds of dollars on a stripper, but I can't do that. And, but I also know her. So like, then I go like, well, who's more of my friend here? Because I don't. So what would you have done, man? You're there with your bro, and his wife's like, I can't believe they stole your credit card. How come you're not going after that? And he's like, oh yeah, that's totally what happened. They stole my credit card. And I'm like, my ass just stole your credit card.
Yeah. In that situation, I would just make a judgment call, and I would probably act like I didn't hear it. Yeah. I would probably just be like, what? Or something, like, because don't get me wrong, I'm not giving the green light for anybody to lie to their significant other like that. But also there's like, I don't know if it's also my position to go and start what would most likely be a fight then.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it was
that
truth
will come out some way or another for that, I think. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, what did you do? You didn't say anything?
I didn't rat on him. And I felt kind of bad. I wasn't super friends with her, but I actually worked with her, and I knew her through the work acquaintance. So I actually worked with her, and I met him through her, but, I wasn't great friends with her. She was just a coworker. So I just kind of like, I want to say I did really good job at deflecting. Like, I just didn't acknowledge that it was a stolen card, nor did I acknowledge that he spent all night getting lap dance after lap dance either. So I just let it go. But yeah, it was a difficult thing, because I could see like that's a tough thing for somebody to be in, because God forbid you are good friends with both of them. And then you have to decide which, in that moment, in that very moment, you have to decide which one do you want to be your closer friend, because you're going to probably end one friendship.
Yeah. Well, and Drysiders is like, Birdie would have played the ADD card. I would have been like, yeah, credit cards, like those things. Why do we even have credit cards? I mean, think about like our financial system here in the United States. I mean, if we're talking about a credit card, like I probably would have gone in a different route and just distracted them if I had to. But
I did deflect. I'm pretty sure I deflected. I never answered the question.
I have a story similar to that. Wild, except it was with a coworker. Okay. So if you've ever gone on like a work trip, I've said this before, there is nothing that you can do at these giant sales meetings that will get you promoted. You can do so much to get fired though.
Right.
And there has to be this different level of, and maybe not all companies, but like at least the company that I work at, it's like, it's really like a politicians type show where you're kissing hand, or not kissing, you're shaking hands, kissing babies. You're putting out the best version of yourself to people that maybe you don't see that often. Right. Yeah. And then they have happy hour. You have a couple cocktails and that's it. You never want to be the first one to leave, nor do you want to be the last one there. Yeah. Somewhere in the middle, just kind of Irish goodbye.
Yep.
Okay. Well, one year they had our sales meeting end on a Friday. Okay. So we end on a Friday, and the company said that if you wanted to stay the weekend, you could just schedule your flight home on Sunday. So now this is like years ago. It's like I don't even know how long time ago, right when I first started. So I stayed with some of like the younger dudes, and we went out and we were with our team. It's also really weird when you see your coworkers drunk for the first time, like past the point of like the happy hour. And it's like, whoa, hang on. It's like, that's our sales trader. Like, she's kind of weird, but she's normal right now, and she's hammered, and she's a lot of fun. Okay, there's always like that awkwardness, or like when you see like somebody dancing that you're like, oh God, I don't know, I needed to see that. But after the bars, similar situation ensued. That's what you described with everybody. It lasted like, it was actually really awkward. It was kind of like everybody got there and it was like, this is so weird. We're here with like coworkers. Well, one guy stayed. Okay. I'm not going to say his name. We'll say his Joe. Joe stayed. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Joe gets he doesn't have his room key. Okay. So this is at like 4 almost in the morning. Okay.
Yeah.
He's calling me. He's like, I can't find my room key. Like, can I stay in your room? Blah, 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 blah. And now the dude that I was sharing a room with, his flight was early. So he didn't even go out anywhere like that late. He had an early flight. He had to get up. He was already awake when Joe was texting me, calling me. I text Joe the room number. I hear this, do. He's on the door next to me, banging on some random person's door. Probably scared the hell out of them. Okay.
Wow.
So then the dude that I was with, his name's Ryan. Okay. He's packing his suitcase. So now I'm awake. I'm like, oh my God, he's at the wrong door. So I go get him. Okay. The dude packing had his suitcase open where the door was. Joe walks right in, steps into the suitcase, onto this guy's neatly folded clothes, falls over.
Oh,
Right. So I'm like, oh man, he's absolutely trashed. He gets into the bed that Ryan just got out of with his shoes on from being all over downtown. Not that he's staying there, but it's just disgusting. So he gets in and he pulls the covers up and we're looking at him and we're like, Jesus Christ, dude. What is happening between knocking on the wrong door, falling as soon as you walk in, and now you just get in fully clothed with your shoes on, and he just lets out this soft, like, oh, it's so warm still. Because the other dude just got out of bed. So now we're asking him questions. How did your night go? He's like, again, I'll make up a name. We'll say like Katie. Katie's going to kill me. And we go, why? And he's like, well, dude, he's like, I spent so much money on my credit card. And I go, they took your credit card? He goes, they fingerprinted me and made me hold my receipt up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like to prove, so he couldn't do later on that he didn't do it, or yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. And shame on them for they know he was hammered enough that they had to take the picture of the receipt to prove that he did it. But good Lord.
But I mean, he was so sauced, but you can hear it in this man's voice when he said, Katie is going to kill me.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I felt bad for him. And now I'm just like, all right, you know what? He might have walked in, banged on the wrong door. He's in bed with his shoes on. We're making fun of him for saying, it's so warm. That I'm like, going back to your bro code question. That's one where I'm like, oh, someone's calling me. I got to go walk over here. Like if that came up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I'm out.
Getting fingerprinted and photoed.
That's a new level.
I mean, I don't know. Like when I say like felt bad for him, just like, yeah, I can't even imagine the scaries that man's going to have when he wakes up.
Oh my God.
Do you ever get like the hangover scaries, Sunday scaries?
Like if I've drank too much?
Yeah.
I haven't done that. I haven't drank that much since high school.
Oh, really? I even if I don't drink that much, I don't know. I get like, I just feel like a bag of shit like mentally. Like, what am I doing? Like,
it's a horrible story. This is not funny. I don't even want to. When I was 21, I'm pretty sure I got roofied. I woke up the next morning. I had puke everywhere, all over my body. I woke up in a car. I didn't even know where I was at. And I'm pretty sure that I got roofied that night. And to this day, I don't want to know what happened that night. It was horrible. It wasn't just normal drinking. I was completely blacked out. And I don't think it was normal. Anyways, it's a traumatic thing because it's more traumatic wondering what happened to me that night than it is what. Do
you remember walking down a path by a suspicious bathroom that you knew happened to have?
No, it's worse. It's.
Someone said, "Yeah, was your ass sore?" Christ, that's what I mean. Everybody's thinking it. I can't. There's no way.
I'm telling you. I was with somebody that night that I think roofied me, and it was horrible. It was horrible.
Was it one of your buddies or a chick?
Yeah, it was a coworker. It was a coworker. Yeah, it was a coworker, and I couldn't prove it. I mean, how do you prove that? Do you walk in the next day and go, "Hey, son of a bitch, did you roofie my ass?" Like you can't. You don't know that. He's like, man, you were just off your ass that night. Like, okay, I guess, but
I don't know if I don't think
that's a horrible story.
I would say like most people who've probably been in that position, they probably know. I've never woken up and thought that, so I probably haven't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have had it though, where I wake up and I'm like, for example, my 30th birthday, Mrs. Birdie threw a surprise party for me at like this golf simulator in town with like my uncles. Like when you get to that age with like your family where like your uncles and your cousins and stuff like, and they come to your birthday party, it's like, damn, this might be way more rowdy than even if I was just my buddies.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. I was 30 years old. I mean, not proud of this, but I was gone. I'm surrounded. I knew I was fine with all that. I mean, we're just at a lake bar, so it wasn't crazy. But I do remember that for whatever reason, I swear to God, someone had said like, our Uber's here or somebody's outside. We're leaving. I swear I heard this. I just make my way by myself. And you know those cartoons like back in the day, like the Roadrunner, where he runs off a cliff, then he just drops.
I'll figure out that he's
It's so funny because you talk about like not knowing what happened. I know that happened. I know that I just walked right off this thing and then fell. Nobody saw it though. And I didn't even really remember it until I started like looking at my knee the next one. I'm like, damn, my knee's like cut up. Like what? I'm like, oh my God, I fell. And I'm like, did anybody see me fall? Like when we were all leaving, they're like, no, you just walked outside. You thought like we were leaving or something. But dude, you know, and that's like, I feel like girls too, after a hard night of drinking, I don't know what it is. I feel like girls always wake up with like random like bruises or cuts on their knees. And it's like, damn, like how trashed were you guys getting?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever wake up bruised? Yeah. I don't.
No, it takes a lot for me to get to that point. And I haven't done that since high school. So
someone said I've used a bar stool as a walker. That's hilarious. Yeah. Help me, Rhonda says, I love it when no one sees the fall. Shugo says my 30th was wild too. I couldn't get out of bed for days. Yeah,
I do remember in high school when I drank like a fifth of Jack Daniels to myself, and I got kind of blackout, and somebody like drove by, and when on the and to screw with me, they opened their car door and hit me with their car door as they drove by to just knock me in the ditch, kind of thing.
Wait, stop it. You're saying that you're just walking? Okay, hold on.
I've lived a life, sir.
Oh my God. You're telling me that you're just walking down the road, just minding your own business. You're by yourself.
I was with one other person. We were walking. We were both hammered. Anyways, we're both hammered. It's late at night, and a car drove by of teenagers, I think, and they opened up their door and hit me with the car door on purpose as they went by to knock me over. And I chased them down the road screaming, "You broke my leg," as I chased them with two good legs. "You broke my leg, you son of a bitch. Get back here. I'm going to kick your ass." And I'm like, my buddies are like, "You can't have a broken leg. You've been running for 3 blocks." It's like, well, it was all good. But that was, so back in the day.
I'm sorry. I hate to make you relive this, but now I'm visualizing you and I stumbling and bumbling down the sidewalk. And if I hear, a car approaching, you're probably going to do something normal, like, chirp us. Just be like, "Oh, right. look at those two
blow
guys."
The horn as they go by to scare the shit out of you. Yeah.
If I would have seen somebody like door check you and you go flying too.
They totally door checked me and threw me into a ditch.
I just can't believe that somebody would do that.
It was at low speed. I mean, it wasn't super dangerous, but
your reaction is to say you have a broken leg.
Right. I got a broken leg. You broke my leg, you sons of bitches.
Oh man. Mrs. Birdie up north will indulge obviously more than up north is different. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're at a cabin or if you're on a lake, you seem to think that you have a higher tolerance than you do. I still fall for that trap almost every time we're up there.
Yeah.
I get, I mean, I'm fine. Next thing you know, I've eaten a whole bag of Dots pretzels by the bonfire. I can't feel my tongue anymore. I'm just like, who handed me these damn pretzels? I got MSG sweating through my pores.
Right. Right.
But like, there's this thing that Aubrey will do sometimes where I'm like, sometimes she just like starts speaking her own language. Okay. Like, call it Burdanese or something like that. Like, but I don't know if every couple has this, but you know, like the pet voices that people kind of talk to each other and whatever.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're trying to play music and whatever. And the pet nickname, whatever it is, I'm not going to do that to her or myself for this matter on the stream, but you guys get my point. So she says that, followed up by like, wants the ox. So refers to herself like pet name, wants the ox, meaning like you want to play music. And she's doing this. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I saw it. I looked at her like this. She goes, like, did I just do that in front of everything? It was so funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And somebody said, we were at a cabin and my brother slept with a fish. Now, there needs to be some more details on that.
A big mouth bass, though, I let you know. It was a largemouth bass. Yeah.
I mean, what? Yeah, details on that. Now I'm curious.
Vulgar. I need to drink
somebody
more.
said, oh, Happy Hounds talks about after 15 minutes and a drink, they were seeing blurry. Yeah, I want to see this. Ice fishing's the same thing as up north. Oh man, that's hilarious. Let's see. What does this say? Yeah, somebody said poor fish. She was.
I mean, the fish
really
could have been
nice.
dead. I don't know.
That's crazy, dude. I mean, to grab a dead fish and bring it inside. So Cookie's Corner says he thought he caught it, but he was drunk. It was dead. They put it in his bed. Oh, okay.
Slept
funny.
with the fish. Why'd you go there? It was just they literally just slept with the fishes.
Yeah. Well, have you seen those pranks where people are like really, really drunk and they'll like somehow not wake them up and put them on the air mattress and float them out into the lake?
Oh yes. Oh gosh, that's super dangerous. Yeah.
That's so dangerous.
Oh yeah.
It's so funny. Like a pool, like a 3 foot.
Right.
I mean, still, it's dangerous. Don't get me wrong.
It is
I'm not
dangerous. Yeah.
advocating for anybody to do that. Hey, God, someone said his wife's wife's pet name is Big Mouth Bass. No, that's my all-time favorite nickname in the Hive was Mouth of the South. That ultimately, it's just I love that nickname so much. And maybe it's not dirty, and it's just like you got a foul mouth.
It's probably just a foul mouth, yeah.
But it was timed so perfectly in the stream where someone, like, I was in the middle of talking and I just saw Mouth of the South.
Mouth of the South.
No, I have to do it. Thank you, Fiji, for the super chat. And Fiji says, thanks for making me laugh so hard, Birdie DA. Well, it's our pleasure. I don't really know how this happens every stream, but we get up here and
I tried hard, man. I said we probably need to tone down the vulgarity a little bit. But you know what? The good news is we waited until the end of the show to get really raunchy. So it's better.
I actually think that this would be like a 2 out of 10 if we didn't have to worry about self-filtering, you know? And I feel like a lot of people in here, they relate to these stories, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I hear a lot of positive feedback about the stories. So
the dirty Mouth of the South. Jimmy Hart, Mouth of the South. I mean, okay, so hang on, continued after. Oh, that's going back to the roofie thing. God, man, there's a lot of people that have been roofied. That's terrible.
Isn't that horrible?
I have the opposite.
I am responsible. Someone says DA is responsible. I think I am responsible. I told you that. I told Birdie one day recently. I was like, I think I'm doing you a disservice. Like I come on your show and I've noticed, like, and this is no offense to Birdie, but I said, Birdie, I noticed you're getting a little bit raunchier. You're getting a little bit dirtier when you talk to me. It may not be good for your show. Maybe I'm not good for your show.
No, I mean, I think I told you, and it's like people say, don't give these trolls credit. Well, you know what? In a way, I have to give credit to Jeff H. Jeff H. literally just ripped this Band-Aid off where I'm like, I'm done. I'm just done. I've had it with this guy in general. And ever since then, I've kind of just really, not that I'm still not thinking before I talk. I do, but I don't know. You got to have fun with it.
And people are telling me, and they have told me before, Birdie already talks dirty, DA. So yeah, like I guess when I first met you, it's funny because when I first met you,
on TikTok.
Yeah, you're right, on TikTok. And you said unaliving. And I said, hey, if we go live together, is it okay that I say murder? Because I just can't do the unaliving thing. And you're like, yeah, go ahead and do it. And I thought, oh, it's reluctant though. It's like, go ahead and do it, but I'd prefer you not to. And I did. And then you started using it. And I was like, and then someone else told me, no, Birdie has always not used that word when he went to YouTube. It was only TikTok that he was doing the unaliving thing, you know.
Speaking of this, how weird is this? So I sometimes I'll cross stream over to X. Guess what I got in an email like 4 days ago, dude? I don't even know how this happened. So I got an account strike on my TikTok. That's why I'm just posting clips of the stream just to keep, like, I don't know, showing the platform that I'm still posting.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to start doing like the first person stuff again once that strike falls off. And I've said that a couple times, but dude, I got the RTMP code randomly sent to me, which, so for people that don't know, for live streaming, you know, you can go live on TikTok, but they don't give the RTMP code to really anybody.
Yeah. TikTok's horrible about not giving out the RTMP streams. So.
Yeah. So now when that strike falls off, it might be short-lived, but I will be able to go live on TikTok and YouTube simultaneously.
Okay, I have to say this. I don't understand. I don't even understand how you got a strike on X. You got it on X,
TikTok.
you said?
No, TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. Okay. I was gonna say, I don't know how you got it on X. Okay, on TikTok. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Well, and it was the
and you're
stupidest
right.
reason
They
ever.
gave you the RTMP. I thought they didn't give you an RTMP until you reached something like 100,000 subscribers or something like that.
No, and I'm right underneath that. So maybe.
Okay. So maybe that's why you're getting close. If you're getting close to it, that's why. Yeah.
But I haven't gone live in months over there.
Yeah.
Except for the night that I got banned here. And then that was, besides the Jeff H crash out, that was another crash out. I actually, I think I told you this, I had the clown horn into the mic. It was the second day of quitting vaping. My live gets shut down. And then somebody told me to stop grifting. And I had made 7 cents. 7 cents. And I'm just like, me, stop grift. And then I ended up pulling up this AI music generator, and I wrote an entire song about like and it was screamo. It was wild.
That's good shit.
So
that's good
but
shit.
DA, we're at 2 hours, homie. I appreciate the time. Everybody tuning in, and I'm looking forward to next Monday. We'll continue to kind of do these Hive Mind finds on Mondays. I think that'll be great to get, you know, a bunch of them. So guys, please, if you have a new Hive Mind find, I just saw some people were posting them in there. We'll dive into them. Today, I wanted to just kind of recap a couple, but I think that'll be a lot of fun. And DA, any closing thoughts?
No, I'm glad we got a chance to talk Idaho 4 because I haven't done it for a while. I'm finally, after getting back from New York, breaking into legal documents on Tyler Robinson. So I'm kind of interested to get back into real business because I haven't done it for a while. So, but thank you for giving me a chance because it's fun shooting the shit with you, but I think it was good to get into some of the actual talking about the case again too.
No, it was good. And dude, you have really good takes on the Idaho 4.
Yeah, thank you.
And maybe people disagree with this, and if I come off very self-unaware right now, I'm really not trying to be. I actually think for the Idaho 4, I've been less and less conspiratorial from a base of it standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm still speculating on what could have, but now with what we've seen, I think it actually is way less. And there's more of an argument to be made. I don't know if people agree with that. Not that I'm not leaning into the conspiracy sides. I couldn't help myself, but I just think now there's at least more, hey, that's maybe plausible, right? So
yeah. No, it's good. I'm enjoying the not to love bomb on you, but you and I have been a great collaboration. I want to thank you again for taking me on early. You were a big movement in my channel getting to where it is today. So thank you again for that. And I hope we keep going together because I view you like a brother. We've had a really good relationship. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's been great. Real friendship. And if you guys haven't subscribed to DA, go hit that subscribe button. And same thing with this live. If you haven't pressed like on your way out, go ahead and do it. Hive, I've had a super long day, so usually I'll stay up here and I'll answer questions for 10 minutes. Tonight, I'm not going to. So this will conclude the stream. I hope everybody sleeps good, gets up, and crushes their day tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers. Thanks, DA.
Yeah, thank you. Later.
Yep.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.